Eric Minchall with the Cincinnati Throwing Club here today just to talk about a few pillars of building a successful pitching staff. The first and foremost is trust. You've got to build trust, and it has to be earned with your pitching staff. Players today are very smart. They're looking for information. They know how to go out and get it on the internet. They know how to go different camps and get some different opinions. It's that information, that knowledge that they seek, that really builds that pillar of trust. If they know that you know what you're talking about, they're going to believe in you. If you're going to communicate with them, which is our second pillar, communication is key. If you're going to communicate with them, and get them information that's going to help them, and they know that you're there for them, whether it's good or bad, based on results that are positive, you're giving them praise. If it's not very good, that you're not going to BS them. You need to tell them and be honest with them when things aren't going well. Sometimes in communication, sometimes there isn't a communication. Everybody knows that what's going on is not good, okay? You don't need to overemphasize that. Sometimes you just need to let everything settle for a day and then come back to it. But in our second pillar in communication, you've got to have open lines of communication with your staff. You've got to get to know your players. What are they about? What's important to them? What's their why? Why are they here? Why are they continuing to pitch in school if they're in college, for example, or in high school? What are their dreams? Are their dreams to play in college, or are they going to be done after this? All those things factor into a player's performance, what their initiatives are, what they're trying to accomplish. You may see a guy not working hard in the weight room or in the off season, and you need to find out why. You need to communicate with your players. And our third pillar that's very important to us is development, and that is both professional and personal. And we say professional, but we look at pitching as a craft. That is a professional craft at the major league level, and certainly at the college level, guys are working towards that. But you have to approach it in that manner, that you are working on a craft. It's something that requires a lot of dedication, requires a lot of attention, which is the thing that we compete for the most often, is each other's attention. So working on your craft as a profession and seeing it that way will help you, but also you've got to have the personal development piece. And that ties in what I talk to in communication, is finding out about your player, finding out about what these guys are interested in, what makes them tick, who they are inside, what's their motivation, where they're coming from, how they see you. At our staff at Miami Hamilton, we have a process where we actually sit down with our guys and we have them write out what their why is. It's very important, and I think some things will surprise you as far as what their answers are. We also ask them to name 3 things that we can expect from them as a coaching staff to a player. What can we expect from them? And that's an accountability measure, because if they write those things down, they're very important to them. So if we fall outside of that, it is an accountability measure. But then we also ask them to name 3 things that they should expect from us as a staff. And again, I think these answers would surprise you, and they need to hold us accountable as well. There's a lot of different variations of this out there. I think that's very important to find out all of that information, but you need to get to know your players and know where they're coming from, because you need to know who you can count on. If somebody's out here just having a good time and it's for fun, and maybe they're not taking it as serious as the next guy, that doesn't mean they can't pitch for you. But at the end of the day, that might be the guy that's shorting you on the run, that's maybe not throwing as many pitches in the pen, who's checking his phone all the time. Maybe that guy's just not as serious as the guy who's really trying to get somewhere, and you need to evaluate that, and you need to figure out how you're going to coach that guy. He's part of your staff. You certainly don't want to take that person, and put him on an island, but at the same time, how can you get that guy on the same page? Everybody needs to be on the same page. The coaching staff has to be on the same page. The players have to be on the same page. And oftentimes, depending on where you're at, what school you're at, if you're in high school, a lot of times the parents need to be on the same page. And that goes for summer ball as well. In college, that doesn't really apply, and certainly in professionally, that doesn't necessarily apply, although family is still important because it's a support group. You need to know about that player's family. You need to know about what kind of people are holding that guy up. And holding his head up when he's down. The family does play a role in that. It just may not have as much communication with the family on that side. So those pillars should help you develop a very formidable and solid staff. Educate yourself as a pitching coach. Do the homework yourself so that you can stay on top of it, because if you don't, these guys, they'll progress ahead of you and you'll lose them pretty quickly. That's just a quick tip on building a solid pitching staff. Please check out our rest of our videos here on YouTube. I think they'll be very informative to you. You can leave comments below, and our contact information is in the description below. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thanks again, Eric Minshaw, Cincinnati Throwing Club.